If you're doing an enclosed trailer build, stop everything you're doing and watch this. Guys, welcome to part 2 of our enclosed trailer build series. Now, before we jump into today's episode, wanted to get this quick announcement out of my way. I still have 17 seats available for my 2 classes. One is happening at the end of this month. It is the 12 skill sets of the pressure washing business. And then the second class, which is the first Wednesday of August, we're talking about pricing psychology. Guys, remember, pricing is the #1 reason why a lot of you new guys end up failing in the pressure washing business. So very, very important. And remember, guys, these are Zoom classes, so you don't have to go anywhere. Watch from the comfort of your own home on your laptop or your tablet or your smartphone. And guys, I always say, the more you know, the more you'll grow. We need to develop those skill sets. And by the way, the link to those classes is going to be in the description of this video. When you sign up, you're already automatically signing up for both classes. Now, super excited about today's episode. If you were to ask me what's the most important part of an enclosed trailer build, man, I would have to argue that it's about what we're going to do next, because when we're talking about creating, right? So step number 2 of our blueprint for the trailer build, step number 2 is we're going to create that foundation, the base for your hose reels. So in my experience with building rigs of the past and then, troubleshooting things that, I've seen through the years, if you're going to have a problem with your rig, guys, 90% chance it's going to be with your hose reels, because, you're constantly, there's a lot of torque and movement happening, constant vibration with that. So the foundation for that has to be super, super solid. In the past, whenever I had a problem, over 90% of the times it has something to do with the hose reel. So this is a little bit more on the technical side. I'm going to show you guys exactly what you're going to need, because one of the things you're going to have to buy, those big, what are those things called? 6x6 landscaping ties. You're going to need 3 of those, and then you're also going to need the 8-foot sheet of plywood, 3/4 inch plywood. You're going to need 2 of those. So 2 of those, and then 3 of your landscaping ties. So anyway, let's go ahead and go over to the cutting board. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. All right, guys, here we are in our cutting table, and unfortunately, it might be a little bit dark over here because it is literally 98 degrees today, and right over there beyond the camera, about 10 feet, man, it is so hot. The sun is scorching today, and I found this nice little under the shade here under the oak trees, so we're going to get through this together. So I wanted to show you some of the things you're going to need to get this done. Of course, your trusty measuring tape. You're going to need a pencil. I always have, I want to say, a box of like 8 or 9 of these. They were like $1.99 at Home Depot. Triangular ruler, I guess this is what it's called. I'm sure it has some kind of official name, but anyway, that's what I call it. Of course, you're going to need a little saw. Again, this is something I've had, guys. I have 3 of these, but I want to say this one specific I had ever since the beginning of Mr. Bubbles. And then the other thing that is about 8 years old is this, what is this thing called? Circular saw. Now, the one that I bought at Lowe's, and it's a Craftsman. And, I went cheap on this one because I spend a lot of more money on drills, like, what is those things called? Impact drills and your cordless drills. But this right here, guys, is about 6 or 7 years old as well. And I'm telling you this right now, guys, you will not be able to run a pressure washing business without these materials here, because, you're always having to modify something. Now, let's go over the actual wood here. Let me put this down so I can show you guys this real quick. All right. This, I got 2 sheets of plywood, and it's the 4-foot by 8-foot, and it's 3/4 inch. That's very important. Just remember, it's the same sheet of plywood that they use to make roofs. So your 3/4 inch right here. I got this at Lowe's. If you prefer Home Depot, that's fine. And I'm going to put up a picture here for you guys. What you're looking at is the cutting board there at, or the cutting saw, I should say, at, what is that place called? Lowe's that I went to. Now, I had them cut this in half for me, you guys see here, because the size of your hose reel base is going to be 18 inches by 24 inches. Now, remember I said that this thing was 4 feet by 8 feet? Well, so when they cut it in half for me, it's just saving me a little bit of time, because literally they are cutting it down to 24 inches is what I want. So I'm going to need to cut this. You're going to need 8 pieces of 18 by 24 boards. That's going to be for your entire hose base reel. We're making one reel, one base for your pressure and your water, and then a different base for our soft washing, our 200 foot of soft wash hose, which is that blue 5/8 hose. But anyway, the bottom line is, I would recommend you have them cut it for you like I did there, because it's giving you a straight cut. So I have 2 pieces of plywood here. They're each 24 inches by, what is that, 96 inches, right? So 24 inches, 2 feet, 2 feet by 8 feet. And again, I'm just gonna make lines, and don't worry guys, we're gonna do this together, where I'm gonna do an 18-inch line here, 18-inch line here, and then I'm just gonna keep cutting until I have 8 boards. Now let me show you this real quick. Put this one down here. This is the other board. And I actually have 2 of these, so I had them cut 2 for me just in case I needed extra wood. But you guys will be able to get away with just cutting one and then just keeping the other one intact. But you're going to need 2 of these 8-foot boards. Again, the plywood, 4 feet by 8 feet. You need 2 of those. And then I had them cut for me, you know, to size. But you can cut one and then keep one, because I always end up needing extra boards, guys. And you're going to see in the end, because we're going to be creating also the bases for our machines, our AR45 and our pressure washer 690, Honda 690. We're going to create the base for those as well, from the same wood. So that's why I always like having extra wood. Now, for the foundation, the hose reel foundation, your columns are going to be 6 by 9. That's what you're looking at right here, guys. These are 6 by 6 by 8 feet long railroad ties, or as I like to call them, landscaping ties. You see them on here, look. Super heavy, guys. You're going to need 3 of these. So again, the materials are, you need two sheets of plywood, 4 foot by 8 foot, and then the thickness is 3/4 inch. And then you're going to need 3 of these. I got 2 of these and one right off screen here. You're going to need 2 of these right here. 3 guys of these. And these again are 6 by 6 by 8. That's very important, because they also have, I want to say, 12 feet and 16 feet. But again, you're just going to get the 8-foot ones. And what we're going to do is, this is very important. We're going to need 10 of these 12 inches, so a foot long, like this. And we're going to need 2 that are 18 inches long. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to show you guys how I cut all of these, and, you know, give you guys like an exact step-by-step tutorial for doing these. Now, let's go ahead and start with the plywood. Let me set this up, and then I'll catch you guys on that side. All right, guys, always remember your PPEs. Very important not to get sawdust in your eye. I've done that before, and man, absolutely sucks. So remember, the piece of plywood here is 24 inches by 8 feet. Now all I need is that 18-inch cut. We also have this right here. This is just so I can use it as a ruler, a guide here for my line. So let's go ahead and measure this out. What's going to be our first cut. So I'm right here, 18 inches. Right here, guys. So I put a line right there, and then I'm going to use my triangular ruler here to make my line, just like so, just like that. So, and then I measure again. So right there at 18. Remember the rule here on the channel, guys, is you want to cut twice, measure once. You know, I'm sorry, guys, I always say this backwards. You actually want to measure twice and cut once, and that's exactly what you saw me doing there, is measuring twice. So let's measure this side right here too as well. Okay, so I put a line right there at the 18. And then I use my triangular ruler right here. Make a line. And then that's what this is for. I'm going to measure this out. Perfect right there. Now, if I'm off by, you know what I mean, a smidge, a little bit, that's not that big of a deal, but it's a perfect line right there. And then when you get your circular saw, you're going to see in the edge right here, there's a little, like a guiding point. That's, you want that to be right on your line. Right here, look. It's right on my line. I know you guys can't see real close up, but right on a line, and you go all the way through. There you have it, guys. 18, and then, you know, I just made the cut right there. We'll measure this just in case here. And it is freaking perfect, guys. It's 24 by 18. Now I'm going to go through and cut all of these. As a matter of fact, check this out. And there you have it, guys. I have all of these cut. You're cutting a total of 8 of these. Again, the size of these bases have to be 18 inches by 24 inches. Of course, that's also, you know, going to be on your blueprint there at the end when we give those out to you guys. But let's go ahead and move over to cutting our landscaping ties. All right, guys, so with these landscaping ties, what I like to do, remember, we have 3 of them. So what I want to do is I want to cut the tips off first, because you're already guaranteeing yourself a absolutely 100% straight edge there. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this one to 12 inches, 1 foot, and then now 1 to 12 inches. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, and then I'll do the rest of the ones on, you know, off video for you guys. I'm going to have to do some of this stuff off video, guys, or else this would be, this entire series would be over, you know, 20 hours long, and we're not trying to do that. And besides, you guys watching this channel, you're super smart. A lot of you guys are even more knowledgeable, you know, when it comes to carpentry than I am. Again, I just have like some, man, like I'm functional at it. Let's put it that way. I'm functional. Okay, so here we go. What I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to measure each one of the sizes, and put a little mark right there at the 12th, right there. Okay, and then I'm going to go with my triangular ruler here, and I'm going to make a line right there where my cut's going to be. Now, I'm going to flip this over like so and do the same thing. Repeat the process 4 times. So again, I'm going to go with my ruler here, my guide. Put a line right there. And now I'm using the triangular to basically to line everything up. So now this line here is already 100% lined up with the line that I just made at the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing here again. This way, I'm guaranteeing myself that I am doing a 12-inch cut right there without failure, guys. Right on the line there. Boom. Perfect alignment, guys. Perfect alignment. There you go. Now we're going to do this one. Then we're going to do the same thing on that end. Then we're going to start cutting. All right, let's see this one right here. Ooh, the 12th is right there. Go ahead and make that. Ooh, that's perfect right there, guys. Lined up perfectly with the bottom. Wow. Like all the lines are perfectly aligned with each other. So when I cut through, it's going to make a perfect cut. Now let's do this side here. Okay. All right, so same thing here, guys, 12, and I try to straighten my ruler as much as possible. 12, there you go. Make my line cut right here. Right there. Ooh, I missed it by a smidge. Oh, right there. That's pretty good. So again, I'm going to flip this over like so. Measure the 12 inches, and which should be right there. And I'm going to repeat this entire process over and over and over again until everything's been cut. Right there. And then I'm aligning this up here with this cut line, but I'm also aligning it with the line that I made in the bottom. So right there, perfect, perfectly aligned, like down to the millimeter. So we'll move over to the next one, just like so. It's a little bit tedious, guys, but you know, you want this part to be perfect because you don't want your base coming apart on you. Right there. Ooh, again, super, super perfect. Now all we have is that side right there. Okay, like so. Bam. Just like that. Let's go ahead and measure this out. And by the way, when you guys buy these triangular rulers, I like the metal one, like the one you see here, because I bought the plastic ones through the years, and man, they break very easily, guys. Like very, very easy. Of course, they're super cheap, you know, a couple bucks. I think this one was like 12 or 13 bucks, but worth its weight in gold. Right there. Wow. Wow, all the lines are perfectly in sync with each other. So let's go ahead and start cutting. Now, I will say this for you guys that are, you know, going to be doing this for the first time. You know, your cut, you know, it doesn't have to be super, super, super perfect. If you miss it by a smidge, I'm going to show you guys at the end here how we're going to touch these up, because at the very end, before you you start putting the stuff together, you're going to need to sand these down so you get a straighter shot, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. But now that we got this aligned here, let's go ahead and we're going to cut these two together step by step. Again, we know where that line is, right, on our circular saw, and we're just going to keep cutting all the way till we've cut the 4 sides. So here we go, guys. Right there, and I'm trying to get as close as I can to the line. I want to still be able to see the line. So like I'm a smidge, a teensy little smidge on the other side of the line. Here we go. You guys see that? Just like that, and then I bump it over, flip it over like that, and I keep going. Just like that. And again, you know, if we miss it by a little bit, again, it doesn't matter, because we're going to sand it down at the very end. Here we go. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to try to flip this over. I don't know if you guys can see that really good right there, but I mean, wow. I mean, as long as your lines are right, your cut's going to be right. What is it? Cut twice, measure twice, cut once. That's what it is. Here we go. Perfection. Now, if you've noticed on camera, this didn't break apart because there's still about ½ an inch that it didn't get to, the saw didn't get to. That's why we have this right here, guys. All we're gonna do is, I mean, it barely takes any energy. I'm not even putting any effort right now. It's just gonna come right loose, just like that. You guys saw that? Really, really easy. Now, let's flip this one over, just like so. And we're going to repeat the process right here. Then I'm going to do these other ones off camera. Remember, you're doing a total of 10 of these that are 1 foot long, 12 inches. And then you're going to do 2 that are 18 inches. That's for our soft washing hose reel, okay? And these are for our towers, okay? Let's go ahead and knock this down. All right, here we go. Right there. Just like so. I'm right on the line once again. Here we go, guys. Just like that. And you guys can see here on this side, look, I'm gonna lift this up a little bit. Look, you guys see that right there? Perfect. I mean, perfectly aligned. The reason why it's perfectly aligned is because I measured each side to perfectly the 12 inches, okay? That's very important you do that. Now we flip this over for our last cut. Measure this. There you go. And then same as before, you notice it didn't break apart. So I grabbed my saw here, my trusty saw. We're gonna go ahead and knock this down. Bam. There you have it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest off camera. And then I'm gonna see you guys inside the trailer as we start to put this stuff together. So I'll see you over there. Guys, quick announcement. I've created a digital product called Mr. Bubbles Business in a Box. Check this out. Okay, so the Mr. Bubbles Business in a Box is actually a thumb drive that we're going to send to you guys to your physical address. And when you get this thumb drive, you're going to see a folder that's called Box in it. And then when you open it, you're going to see all of these files right here, guys, all of these folders. And guys, this thing has over 500 files, anything and everything I've ever created from my business. So all of the blueprints, training modules, documents, all of the things that you guys constantly email me about, you know, your pricing PDF, your for example, you know, your marketing blueprints, anything that you could need for your business is in here. That's why we call it a business in a box. One of the things that I really like about this is, guys, check out all of these pictures. So you have a total of 300 before and after pictures that you guys can add to your website and your Facebook and your Google My Business. And check this out. So there's a folder called Google SEO. And the pictures already have the SEO words in them. And this one photo right here has over 300. This specific folder has 190 pictures, but all in all, it's over 300 pictures. Look at some of these pictures, guys. Amazing before and afters pictures for you guys to be able to add to all of your social medias and whatnot. This is going to help you get a lot of customers. And of course, your edible postcards are on here. And then finally, you got training videos on here as well, guys. Like, for example, the video on how to optimize your Google My Business, the Mr. Bubbles. You got several videos. So they're like training modules. You got all the PDFs. The bottom line, guys, is this. This is going to help you with your business. So don't miss out. Make sure that you email us so you can get your business in a box today. In order to get your business in a box, you just got to hit the link in the description of this video. And I say this all the time on the channel, guys. The more you know, the more you grow. That's how come I decided to create this business in a box, because it has everything in there you need to be able to grow your business. And I really, really believe that this is going to be a game changer for you. Guys, you do not want to miss out on this one. All right, guys, we're ready to go here. We got the shop fan running because it has got to be at least 100 degrees in here. And we got pretty much everything laid out. I'm going to break this down for you guys. And you guys are going to, you know, watch me step by step as we do this. Oh, and of course, guys, we got a cooler here full of ice and water. And of course, brewskis. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and dive in. You guys, supposed to be over 100 degrees today, and it's got to be already over 100 degrees in here. I got a towel there in case I need to wipe my face, but I'm really not trying to have a heat stroke, but I'm really trying my best to get this done and you know, have you guys watch me step by step without skipping anything, without cutting any corners. So let's go ahead and break this down. So I'm going to show you guys here everything you're going to need to get this done. But before we even start, so you remember, you saw me there on a cutting board. We cut 12 of these landscaping ties, 12 inches, right? And then you see here how smooth it is on the top, how they're all like that. Let me grab this one right here. Very, very smooth. And the way that I did that off camera. I'm going to put up a video. What you guys are seeing there is I'm using a sander. It's the 5-inch disc ones. As a matter of fact, I'll put up a picture for you as well, the one that we use. Of course, I'm going to put this also on your Amazon list. But anyway, I got that on Amazon. It's a DeWalt 5-inch sander. Nothing super amazing about it, but I have had that one, had really good luck with that one because it's about 5-6 years old. But anyway, guys, when you're sanding this stuff down, make sure you use your PPEs, personal protective equipment, your goggles and your respirator. That's the same respirator that I use when I do roof cleaning, soft washing. But anyway, you don't want to get sawdust into your lungs or your eyes. I've done that before. I've gotten it into my eyes, and it was like 3 days of living hell. But anyway, so you see here all 5 of them, how almost like, man, let me see if I can get down here real quick, show you. I mean, they're like super level with each other. And I used to not do the sanding part, but what I've learned through the years is these things here always leave like a small groove and a little bit of unevenness. And especially here, you know, when we're doing the base inside the enclosed trailer. Let me step over here so I can show you exactly everything that we got. Enclosed trailer, you want everything to be almost as exact as possible. Those are the 5 boards. You guys remember, let me get the tape here, measuring tape. Remember we cut these to 18 right there. I don't know if you can see that real good on camera right there, but it's 18. Remember, those are 18 by 24. And we have 2 over there. Those landscaping ties there are the 18-inch ones because that's where our hose reel for the soft washing is going to go. And then our, what's it called? Our AR-45 is going to go in this corner right here. So I'm going to break this down. Of course, we have our DeWalt drills. The other thing you're going to need to get this done, guys, is this right here. Very important. I'm going to raise this right here. It's called Tight Bond Original Wood Glue. Tight Bond Original Wood Glue. We're going to use this. And then this right here, you're going to need this Fast and Tight. Flip this around so you can see it. You see that? Wood and deck fence screws. And this is very important. They're epoxy coated. And you see the size there, 8 by 1.5. So why epoxy coated? Because you don't want to use inside the trailer where there's a lot of chems, you know, for your base. You want to make sure that the screws are coated because it's going to last, I don't know, 10, 15 times longer than normal screws would. So anyway, I got my knee pad here. We're going to go ahead and jump in. And here inside this little container right here, I actually have the same epoxy screws, but except these are not 1 5/8. These are 3-inch long. So you're going to need that as well. The 2 different ones, you guys already see it. You can get it at Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever. So let's go ahead and put this thing together. But before we do that, go ahead and drink a little bit more of this guy. Oh, man. Woo, that's keeping me nice and refreshed. All right, let's push this back. So we're gonna do our first base here. We're gonna pick one of these right here. Actually, you know what? Let's just go with these 2 right here. Right there. All right. So remember, these are 24 by 18. And what we're going to do here is this, guys. Is this. We're going to lay these out, the 4 of them. And we'll do, and I actually number these, but by the number I want to use, this is going to be the 5th one. The other ones don't really matter. Essentially, we're creating that right there. But let's flip this over this way right here. Doesn't really matter, guys. I'm just being a little bit picky. But I'm using I want the flat end to go. Remember how I cut the ends? This is the end, the flat end. I want that to go in the bottom of my base right there. You can just do the same. And this is one of those episodes, guys, part of the build where, you know, You might want to watch it eventually, you know, 2-3 times or whatever. You know, make sure that you get this 100%. But anyway, so now I'm just gonna put it to more or less where I want to go. All right, it's like right there. I'm just trying to show you guys more or less what this is gonna look like, and then we're gonna build 2 of these high. All right, let me get my little bucket here now, and we're gonna start putting this together. Nice little base here for our hose reel. So you guys well know I use the DeWalt. Love me some DeWalt drills. I actually have like 3 or 4 of them. You always want to make sure you have plenty of batteries for this, guys. Now, put this over here. I used to, the first time that, I want to say the first 3 times I did this, guys, I didn't use glue. And then every time after that, I started using glue because I just noticed that this glue, by the way, here, I mean, it literally, I'm not even kidding you guys. It's basically like welding for wood, essentially is what it is. All right, guys, so here we go. Let's do this together. I'm breaking this box apart because I'm going to put it in a container like that later. And what you want to do here is you want to put a little bit of the wood, the wood glue. Just, you know, not too much, but just to create a nice solid base for it right there. And then we're going to straighten this guy out as much as we can to the 4 corners there. You guys see? And it doesn't have to be super flush, because you'll see here at the end, I'm actually going to put a wrap around this with, what is that thing called? Sheet metal. So here we go. So this is the way we do this, guys. You want to put a 3-inch one screw, epoxy screw in the middle, and then we're going to put 4 of the little ones around it. All right, so here we go, right here. First one's on the books. Just like so, right in the middle. Bam, done. Now I'm going to do the 4 little ones like that. You see that right there? Boom, that's all we need. That's all we need, baby. Right there, you guys can watch me do this. You know, it's funny, guys. Ooh, that looks pretty good. I want to get through this this build for a couple reasons. One, because I've been promising this to you guys for such a while now. There you go, right there. That looks pretty good, guys. And remember, the glue there is really going to bring it together. There's been times in my life where I've taken these things apart, and man, that glue is no joke, guys. Like, no freaking joke. Wow. So that's good on there, good and tight. But the other reasons is we actually, I got a crew that, ooh, right there. Ooh, that's freaking perfect right there, guys. Right there. I got a crew that is waiting, you know what I mean, ooh, right there. For this to go live in the field so we can start training a new driver. Right there, and then I'm gonna follow the same example here. And then the other thing is, guys, man, the old lady is, my old lady is getting antsy, guys. And I've been putting in 18-hour days, you know, since the beginning of the season. You know, Monday through Sunday, every freaking day. And she's been begging me for a, what is that thing called for me? For us to go on a vacation. There you go, guys. You see that right there? 2 sides. So the 3-inch one in the middle, and then the 4 little ones on the side. Now we'll just flip it around to the other side. But yeah, I've been promising her a vacation, and you know, I'm going to take her down to Key West as soon as I'm done with this build. So that's why we're kind of excited about that too. Looks like that. Because yeah, man, I mean, guys, it's funny how, you know, women never, right there, just like that. Women never remember, guys, you know, what you did for them. Just push that over. Let's level that out. Wow, right there, almost. Right there. I want to get it close as possible. Right there. That's perfect. Yeah, guys, women never remember what you did for them yesterday, right? They only remember, you know, what you're doing for them right now. That's all they care about. Because over the winter, man, I took my old lady to Cancun, guys, for, what was it, a six-week trip. We went to Cozumel, Playa del Carmen, Isla Mujer, Cancun, and we actually rented a B&B out there. And I'll take this out. And rented a car and a B&B, and we just went everywhere. We went to Tulum and Merida. Again, we were there for 6 weeks. And I told her, I said, oh, guys, let me take a quick break here. I am sweating buckets, guys. Sweating buckets. Let me towel off my face a little bit here. I swear to God, it's at least 100 degrees in this trailer. But man, we had so much fun on that trip. But now she keeps hitting me up, you know, for another trip. By the way, guys, do not take marriage advice from me. You're gonna find yourself in a doghouse if you do. No joke. Find yourself in a doghouse. All right, let me see this real quick here. Again, I'm just adjusting. Ooh, that's freaking perfect right there, guys. Perfect. I'm trying to get out of the doghouse myself right now, guys. I'm not kidding. I've been putting in like close to 100 hours a week. Man, my life is literally, you know, I get to the shop 6 a.m. Sometimes I don't walk through my door until 11:30, almost midnight. Eat. My old lady usually will have like food out for me. And then I'll eat, jump in a shower, kind of like that. And bed. That's it. Eat, shower, bed. So, trying to get this so we can go on vacation. I'm trying to go to Mario World, too, up in Orlando. All right, so there you have it. You guys saw this. Again, wood glue, 3-inch in the middle. 3-inch the screw, and then the little ones that I showed you 4 all around. Now, this is where you need to really, really pay attention. I'm going to show you where and how and everything you're going to set this into place, okay? I want you to guys to guide yourself by the door, by the left side of your door. I know it's on my right now because, you know, I'm standing inside the trailer. But if I were to say I'm standing outside of the trailer, guide yourself by the left of the door. And we're going to flip this over right here. And by the way, you're going to put this 4 inches away. You see down here, I have this 2x4. That's what I have it for. It's just for measurement. I'm putting my hose reel up against that right there. Just like so. All right. And you got to remember here, if we put this right here, you see, just as an example, and then we can kind of figure out that the hose reel is going to go more or less like that. You see the space here, right there, more than one hand. And so here's the deal. This is where I'm going to need you guys to figure this out for your own business. So you see there, look, if I'm looking through my door, that's parallel. The left side of my hose reel is parallel to this door, right? Here's the problem. In the past, what I've liked to do is I want my hose reel to be, you know, in the middle of my doorway. The problem, though, with doing that is, you know, for you guys, now every build is different. You guys got to remember, my trailer is 8.5 by 16, so I have more room than most of you guys would, okay? So, therefore, what you want to do is you want to measure yours out. Let's say you have 12-foot or 14-foot trailer. you want to make sure that you have enough room, because remember, we got to put another base there and we got to put a machine here, right? So like, for example, here, you know, this base is going to go more or less, let's say, let's move this over. Let's say it's going to go like, it's not an exact thing right now. We're just kind of trying to eyeball this, but let's say it's going to go right there. Hypothetical. It's going to be skewed a little bit more that way. That means I would have plenty of room there. But this right here, you can see I'm off by about 4 inches. So I got to go 4 inches that way. But the bottom line is, for your trailer, guys, you're going to have to measure this out yourself. Because like I said, ideally you want to put it center with your door, but you might not have enough room depending on your size of your trailer. And if that's the case, you got to make sure that the left of your wheel, of your hose reel, is parallel to this door. You guys got that? In my case, I don't need to do that because I got plenty of space down there. So I can easily move this over. I'll move it over so I can show you guys. I can move this over. I think I said 4 inches, right? So about right there. Now you guys are going to see the difference over there. Put this back. All right, right there. Look at that. Now I'm more, you know, even with the door, right? So the door is whatever, let's say 24 inches. I'm almost at the center of this door. And I have plenty of space right there for me to be able to move my hose reel. And what I'm actually going to do with mine is I'm going to put the left of my base parallel to my door. And remember, I can get away with that because I have enough room, right? So you guys will not be able to see this. You might be able to see that there's a line right there. Right where my finger is, there's a line that goes all the way over. And this line is about an inch more that way right there. Right there, right? Now I'm right on the line right there. So what does this mean? This means the left of this hose reel base that we're making is parallel right now to this door. So that's freaking perfect right there. Look at that, guys. That's perfect for my build. And again, for you guys, for your build, you might need to go a little bit that way because you might not have room there. In my case, plenty of room. So all of that being said, that's how I figured out where to put this base, right? That's exactly right there is exactly where it needs to go. Just like that. Right there. And I just used the 2x4. That's not, you know, I'm not actually bolting that down to anything. I was just using that to measure the 4 inches. So there you go, right there. That's exactly where that thing needs to go. Now, let's go ahead and put this, bolt this down to the actual trailer. Let's go ahead and do that together. Step by step, baby. Woo. Yeah, guys. My old lady is going to be happy with me, though, when I'm taking her on a helicopter ride down in Disney. We're going to go, all the way down to Key West. Have a lot of fun down there. So you guys see here, we're basically going to use the same screws as before. But before we do that, I'm going to show you how to put the last one on here. Let's put the last foundation on here together. All right, then it's going to be ready to go for us to strap this thing to the trailer. The way you're going to do this thing here, man, this thing is going to last a lifetime, guys. A lifetime. The trailer will fall apart before this does. All right, so you see right here, I just want to put this more or less right there, right in the middle. Ooh, I'm already there. And this is how I measure this. Of course, I have a measuring tape right here. Right here. And we can measure this out to perfection. So see that it's almost 7 inches. So if I go about right there, that's right where that wood starts. Right there. So we'll put a line right there. It starts like right there. right here, basically, that's where it is right there. All right, so we'll take our trusty drill, our well drill again. Let's go ahead and knock this out. So we're gonna put one in the middle again. Oh, before we forget, guys, flip this over a little bit, put a little bit of our glue on there. Ooh, this is perfect. Right there, so it's right here, right where my finger is. That's right around where the center is, right there. Wrong drill. Need this drill. Right there. There you go, baby. Man. That's right, this part here, guys, you know, don't try to hurry your way through it. I know you guys are watching these videos, and maybe what I'm doing seems like super easy to you guys, you know, but in real time, guys, it's taking me, I don't know, something like close to 30 hours to get this done. You know what I mean? So you guys make sure you take your time doing it. All right, so you guys see there, remember I told you there's a line that goes from the left of that door all the way down. I'm about 1 inch over from that line, and right now I'm on it, right there. So I'll show you guys this again. This is the base that we're using right here. We'll put that on there just so to show you again. Just like that. And that's more or less where that hose reel is going to end up. Let's move this out of our way here so you can see it. Ooh. Guys, I'm liking that. I am really liking that. All right, so, and then just remember, for yours, most likely you're going to have to go maybe 6 or 7 inches more that way so you can have room for your other hose reel. All right, just take that into account. Every trailer is a little bit different. And, oh, you know what? Let's make sure. Oh, that's not all the way over. Glad I checked. All right, there you go. Right there, perfect. Okay, so now we can move this out of our way. Let's go ahead and move our 2x4 out of the way. Move this out of the way. And here's what you're doing, guys. You're going to put 24 screws on this part. All right, so you're going to put 20 of the little ones, and you're going to put 4 of the big ones. And then we're actually going to put this bolt right here. I'm going to show you this. This is a 3/8 bolt, and it's 3 inches, maybe 3.5 inches. It doesn't really matter. You only really need about 2.5 inches. We're going to drill that through the floorboard and, you know, and fasten the actual base to the trailer itself. All right. You don't want to glue this because one, it's not really going to do anything. And then 2, you know, if you ever needed to take it apart, you don't want to, you don't want to glue it to the actual trailer. All right. So let's grab a little bit of water this time, guys, because, man, wow. But we're almost at the halfway point, guys, because we got to build that one together, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to build the other one as well. All right. So now let's go ahead. Where's our board? Which one was our board? Guess it's this one. No, because the one that I had had the blue on it. So it has to be this one. All right, so that's going to be our board right there, our first base. But, you know, I'm going to show you guys first how we're going to bolt this down. So remember, essentially I'm doing 4, 4, 4, 4, and then I'm going to do 4 on the inside. Then I'm going to use the big one to do 4 in the middle. So here we go. Here we go, baby. So you want to do 4 on each corner like this, guys. Just like this, look. Look at that. It's already really tight on there, you could tell. So we'll do one right here. See how I'm doing the corner of my bases? You guys got that? Corner of the bases. Right there. One more on this corner. And that's already four of the 16 done. Right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do this side right here. Just like that, guys, little by little. This thing's going to be in there. And like I said, this trailer itself will fail before this hose reel base fails. Because also this is pressure treated lumber, you know, that they use to build decks. So, I mean, this thing ain't going nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Look at that. Guys, this thing's already super tight on there. All right, now let's do these 4 right here. You guys ever been down to Key West? Man, that is one of my favorite places to vacation, guys. Man, if you've never... Right there? Oh, that's really good. If you've never driven across the 7-mile bridge down there, that's a pretty cool thing. So 2, and then we'll put 2 more on this side. Just like so. It's the only, for the actual base here, you use 16. The other ones you only use, we're only going to use about 12. Okay, so I got 4, 4, 4. That's 12. I'm going to put 4 in that end down there. Just like that. Yeah, I'm excited about that trip, guys. I am doing a trip also right before Thanksgiving. We're going up to Maine. We're going up to Portland, Maine. I don't know if any of you guys that listen to the channel, you're in the Philadelphia area, because when I go to Maine, we're going to be swinging by Philadelphia. I want to try their chili, what is it called? Their Philly cheesesteaks, guys. Anyway, what's the #1 cheesesteak place that you recommend in Philly? Let me know in the comment section, because we're probably going to go try it. All right, so you notice I put 4, 4, 4, and 4, 16. So now I'm going to put 4 in each one of these corners right here. You see that? Just like so. Bam. And bam. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 2 more. Oh, I'm shit, sorry. 3 more, actually. Need one right here. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Done and done. So that's done. Okay. Now I'm going to take the big screw and I'm going to drill right in the middle here. You see where I am? Right in the middle of each one, of each corner here. Between the pillars, between the landscaping ties, right there. 1, 2, 2 more. Just like so. One more and we're done here. All right, there you go, guys. So 20 of the little screws, and then 4 of the big ones. Now, here comes the part. What you're going to do is, this is a 3/8 bit. This is a 3/8 screw. Again, it's about 3.5 inches. And I want to show you guys this. Look, it's very important. This is a locking washer. Locking washer on top, a washer, locking washer, and then a nut. And what we're going to do here is, I'm going to show you guys this. We're going to drill that and put this through the trailer. And then later on today, when my guys get back, I'm gonna have one of my leads go underneath the trailer and hold it with a crescent wrench while I tighten it from up here, because ain't no way, no how I'm getting in the bottom of this trailer, guys. Like, I am extremely claustrophobic, like extremely. So here we go right here. Right there. Keep going. Look at that, you guys. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm already all the way. I can see the ground. Now, I've taken out the other locking washer, the other washer, and the nut, and I'm just going to put this through. You guys see that right there? Just like that. Just like that. Now let's go ahead and do the other one. Just like so. Look at that, guys. Hopefully you can see right where my finger's pointing. You can see clearly through. I can see the grass down there. Same scenario here. I'm going to put this right here so I know to send my guy over there at the end of the day. Just like so. You see that right there? So you put your locking washer on top. Locking washer, the regular washer, just like so. Bam. So essentially what we've done, guys, is we have screwed our base to the actual trailer, and then we actually bolted it to the trailer. So it's triple, quadruple redundancy. All right, so, and again, I'll do that off screen, off camera with my guys. So we're gonna move on to putting the base here, the first top. All right. So moving right along, right here, just like so. Oh, that's perfect right there, guys. Right there. Freaking perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and add where's our glue? Right here. Put a little bit of glue. We'll put a little bit of glue on every single one of them. Now it's coming down to the wire, guys. Coming down to the wire, baby. And remember, at the end, I'm going to put a skirt. What's it called? Oh my God, what's the word? A sheet metal skirt. So I'm not worried so much about the aesthetics of it all. There we go. That's freaking perfect right there, guys. Right there. You guys see that right there? Let's step back so you can take a look at it. Little by little getting there, guys. Look at that. Little by little, baby. Now we're going to go through the same exact process as before, guys. Drink a little bit of water. All right. Man, I'm sweating buckets. Buckets. Remember, we were putting one of the large screws through the middle. Go ahead and do that. Right here. Bam. Now the other one. Now the other one. Right there. Now the last one, and then we're going to put the four little ones. These guys. Put this thing up here. Let's not forget the one in the middle, which is about right there. Bam. Now remember, you're putting four of these all around the corners. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same thing over here. We'll do the middle next. But yeah, guys, man, I'm excited about end of the year. We've been so busy, guys. We just had $183,000. I say it's 180 because on Monday, it's still June. We have a $3,000 day on on Monday, which is going to put us at, put that like right there, $183,000 for the month of June. Just crazy, crazy busy. Have not had time for nothing. Just crazy. Here we go, guys. How about you guys out there? Let me know in the comment section. You know, I know not everyone that listens to my channel is brand new to the industry. If you're out there working, I mean, how busy are you? Do you see an uptick from last year? Funny thing is, as far as finances for the year, we're like 10% less, I want to say, than last year. But, I mean, our numbers are always good because, you know, we're just putting in that work, you know. A lot of work. We got 2 more to go. And then just that one corner, and then that's it. And then we can start create our top base. I mean, this thing is basically, guys, we've created something that is essentially a part of the trailer now. Like that. And like I said, don't try to rush your way through this part. Because I got to tell you guys this story. So the first time I ever made an enclosed trailer, I'm going to show you this in a second here. Enclosed trailer rig was actually that trailer over here. Let me see if I can put that trailer right there. And that was 8 years ago. And man, oh man, guys, I was on my way to a job. I actually had 4 jobs that day. And what happened was I heard this really, really loud, man, it was louder than a bang. It was a really, really strong, like a pop. And I was like, what is that? Somebody hit me. I looked at the windows. I actually pulled over and, you know, there was nothing wrong with the trailer. So I was like, I don't know what that was. Then when I got to the job, oh, wow. When I got to the job, my hose reel, of course, I didn't make my bases like this. I had bought this metal cabinet and, you know, I bolted, you know, my hose reel stack kit to the metal cabinet. Well, the SH with time ate that metal, so it corroded it. And that on that day, exactly, it caved in. Well, when it caved in, it went forward and my machine was like right there and it broke my machine. I mean, the whole hose reel broke, the hoses broke, and then it broke my machine. So you guys watching and listening to me, that's not something that's going to happen to you if you're following my blueprint, because then ever since then, this is how I've been doing it. Not one problem. All right, guys, let's move on to our second base, the base that's going to go on top of here. That's what those are for. All right, so let's move them over here. Move my phone over there. Bam, and we're going to go through this process again. That's why this is such a good build series, because, I mean, you guys are in the nitty-gritty with me, right? In the nitty-gritty with me. You're right here. You're actually building this out with me. Okay? We're going to go through the same process. Oh, need that fan, guys. Let's move that guy. Woo! My shop fan, shop lights. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, just like before. And then we got, put this one in the middle. Let's map that out. Map that out. Oh, that's already looking pretty good right there. Right there. Okay, let's do this little pointer right here first. Right there. Ooh, that's perfect right there. All right, there it is. Get the screws on this side here. A little bit of the gluey. This glue is no joke. I don't know if you guys ever used this glue before. Man, right there, guys. Grab the 3-inch one. Right in the middle. Ooh, moved on me a little bit. Oh, just a smidge. Right there. There you go. Now the 4 little ones. Yeah, and if you guys do your build like my build, man, I mean, you're talking about something that is going to last you, 7 to 10 years. Think about how much money, a rig like this will make in a 7 to 10 year span, You're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Minimum. Ooh, right there. Ooh, I just smidge. Always goes too much. That's pretty good. Sometimes you just got to do it close enough. That's close enough. Bam. Now the 4. I'm also over the winter, guys. I'm not going to be going to Cancun this year. I'm actually planning a cross-country trip. I'm going to be doing, I'm going to take my bike on a trailer, and I'm going to be going to LA, Midwest. I'm actually going on a 30-day trip, cross-country trip. Taking my Harley with me. All right, so let's move this. Let's spin it over. Bam and bam. Man, I love traveling. I've always loved traveling ever since I was young. Put this one in the middle. Right there. I've been to, guys, I've actually been to, believe it or not, 28 countries. I've actually, that's pretty good right there. Perfect. Of course, I'm Brazilian, so that's how come I've been to Brazil. And I lived in Mexico and Spain. Oh, right there. Oh, that's perfect. Lived in Mexico and Spain. Been to Canada a bunch. Every country in Central and South America. Been to a lot of countries. And been to a bunch of countries in Europe. I'm actually planning, I've been promising my old lady this for a hot minute, for like 3 years now. She wants to go to Ireland. And we were planning on doing like a trip to Europe. Not just Ireland, but, Greece and Italy and a bunch of places. But I've been looking at pictures online. My God, Ireland is so beautiful. There's some beautiful places over there. All right, so here you go. Right, about right. Oh, that's perfect right there. Right in the middle. Perfect. Here you go. Yeah, I actually do look forward to that as well. I've been to a couple places in Europe because I lived in Spain. Went to Portugal, went to England, France. One place I've never been is Africa. Never been there. So that's already right in the middle, pretty much. So let's measure this out again. Oh, just like the other one, look at that. 6 1/4. So the center is right there, right where my finger is, but we gotta put the glue. There we go. Measure this out once more. 6 1/2. So 7 1/2 right there. Right where my finger is, right there. That's the middle of that board, of that landscaping type. Bam. I will put the 4 right around it. Man, there's a lot of people, take a quick water break here. There's a lot of people doing big things in the industry, guys. You know, build out your rigs, focus on marketing. A lot of money to be made out there, guys. Remember, I always tell you guys this. The more things you know how to do that other people do not know how to do, the more money you make. That's just how it works. Well, you know, this is one of those things right here. I mean, how many people in the country know how to do this? Know how to build a rig? You're talking about a very small percentage of people, right? So when you learn how to do something that not everybody knows how to do, you're going to make more money. That's just the bottom line. All right, let's put this up here and see where we're at. Okay. We line that up right there. Ooh, I'm liking that. A little bit to the left, right there. We brought a hammer. Where is it? Right here. Should have brought my rubber mallet. Right there. Yeah. Wow. Perfect right there, guys. Like that. Bam. And remember, I know it looks kind of funky right now, but you guys got to remember, I'm going to put a skirt around that, so you're not actually going to see that at the end. So, and I was thinking about painting it black to match the decor of the inside of the trailer. All right, so now we're going to screw this one to the bottom one. You guys got that? All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Here we go. I'm going to screw 1, 2, 3, 4 all around, and then just like I did before, I'm going to put 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and then I'm going to do 4 of this one. Like so. You can see here, I know it's hard to, well, you can't see it. I'm sorry, guys. We won't be able to see it really well with mine. But it's the screws going right through the 2 boards. Because it's longer than the 2 boards. So it's really bringing them together. Right there. Now I'm going to show you a trick here that when I do these right here, these 4, I aim it so I hit that pillar, right? Like this, look. You see that? So I put it at an angle, so I'm going into that pillar. Just like that. That's how I do these 4. And I'll do the same thing here. Go right into that pillar right there, the bottom pillar. So there's just absolutely no freaking way this thing's coming undone. Just like that. Wow. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'll go ahead and continue to do the 444 and I'm done. Just like so. 1. Yeah, guys, I mean, I tell you guys this all the time. You know, it's all about skill sets. Raising your level of skill set. You know, it's not, I think I said this, man, I feel like I said this recently in one of the videos that it's not so much about what you know. I mean, it's not so much about what you do. It's what you know. And you guys are, you know, some of you guys, not all you guys, but some of you guys are hyper. I got to do is chew on this side and we're done. Some of you guys are hyper focused on getting customers. Drink some water. Man. Hyper focused on getting customers. When you should be hyper focused on increasing your level of skill set. You know, if you think about it, you know, most people have this sort of mentality of like, you know, let me get more customers because if I get more customers, I'm going to make more money. Which, you know, makes sense, right? It would make perfect sense. More customers, more money. Oh, I really like that right there. But actually, where is the glue? Right here. What actually makes you more money are skill sets. Let's go ahead and put glue, 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 and glue. So the mindset that you guys should be having is more skill sets equals more money, not more customers equals more money. Right there, guys. There she blows. There she blows. Oh, right there. I like that. Right there. Right there. It's just a mind, you know, a mindset switch from thinking, whoa. Ooh. Sorry about that, guys. Let me adjust the, you see this real quick. Adjust. Make sure the camera didn't go out of whack. No. I can actually see on my phone what the camera is seeing. It's a level of mindset switch, guys. Bring this up. Bring this up too. You know, from thinking that way. You know, instead of thinking, oh, I need to get more customers because, you know, I make more money when I get more customers. Oh, this could have gone over a little bit more. You know what? There's only 2. Move this side over a little bit more. Just a smidge. Remember, guys, a smidge is just a little bit more than a scooch. Yeah, that's better. Just a little bit more than a scooch. Oh. Now I was saying, you know, mindset switch. You know, switch your mind from thinking more customers, more money to thinking more skill sets equals more money. Because that's the real truth of it all. You making more money is not necessarily about getting, see this right here? So right there, the center is right here, right where the drill is. It's not about getting more customers. It's about acquiring the right level of skill set. I can put this down so we don't knock it over. acquiring the right level of skill set that will help you really grow in this business and make more money. Right? Because like that, the example I was telling you guys how I was on my way to go do 4 jobs. I had to cancel those jobs. And I had to reschedule a lot of people until I got that fixed. It took me 4 or 5 days to fix the problem. And that doesn't happen to me anymore because I'm building my systems out right. Whereas before I did not have the know-how to be able to do that. Just like that. Just like so. That's what I want you guys to focus on, developing skill sets. That's why next year, I announced this a few videos back. Next year, I'm going to do a series, probably sometime in the spring for you guys, on how to develop all of those skill sets. Entire series, 12 episodes. And we're going to talk about things like communication and sales, administration. See how time consuming this stuff is, guys? Very, very time consuming if you want to do it properly. This base is never, ever going to, the only way this is coming out of here is if I move it out of here. That's it. Perfect. Last one, guys, right here. We'll put let's put the hose reel in here so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. And of course, the installation of the hose reel is actually going to be the next episode, not this one, because you see how time consuming this is. Boom. I'm loving it. You see the center one's a little bit skewed, but it, again, does not matter. Because again, it's going to have a skirt. You're not even going to see that. But that base, I mean, if you guys try to yank on it, I mean, you're moving the whole trailer. That's how solid that is. Now, imagine right here, guys, that this is the base, that this is your soft washing thing right? So you see, you gotta play around with exactly where this is gonna go, because you wanna make sure you have room and everything to be able to, use the hand crank thing. And from what I see, this right here is gonna have to be like more or less like right there. Right there. And pointing more that way, because right now I'm hitting that wall a little bit. So, but now we're going to build this one out because this one's super easy, not as hard as these. And then we're going to set this one in motion too. Let's go ahead and do that. Move this over here. Right there. Bam and bam, guys. Drink some more water because, man, guys, wow. I swear to God, I'm probably losing 5-7 pounds of sweat being inside this trailer, because essentially it's like a torture box. It has to be, I don't know, 10 degrees, 15 degrees hotter in here than it is out there. And it's hella hot out there. Hella hot. Let's try to make this as even as possible right there. Woo! That's pretty close, actually. Here we go. And here, use the hammer here. Like that. And we're just going to put about 5 or 6 of these little screws here. Right here. 1, straight down the middle, guys. 2, 3, 4, 4 right here, and 5 right down the middle. Now we'll do the same on this side here. Right there. 1 right here. 1. 2. 3. 4. 1 more. That's why I keep telling you guys, you know, I know sometimes it sounds like I'm saying the same thing over and over and over again, but guys, I mean, it's the truth of it all. It is the truth of it all. Now we're going to flip this over. We want it more or less like, man, it looks about right there. Let's put this base on here. Where's the... Man, I feel like that's right there. Feels about right. Let me see. So, needs to go back more, because I feel like that's going to get a little bit on the way of the line. But that's right there. We're close. So I think I need to go back 2 inches to about right there. And I can still, yep, a little bit more to the left. See what I was saying about, you know, you got to see with your own rig. You know what? I can go back about 2 or 3 more inches, because I can always bring the hose reel up a little bit too. So that's going to go all right there. Let's see. I like that. I like that right there. Yeah. Really like that. And like I said, you know, you can see right here. Let me move this knee pad thing. You know, the hose reel's right here. I mean, look at that, guys. I got plenty of space. So, I like it. That's where it's going to go, right there. Perfect. Bam. Now let's move this. Now we're going to bolt that to the thing. And all I'm doing is putting 4, 4, 4. 4 on the left, 4 on the right, 4 in the middle. That's all we need. And we'll do actually 4 of the big ones just in case. Here we go. Here we go. Let's do this together, guys. You and me. You and me, baby, against the world. Here we go. 1. 2. 3. 4. Now we'll do the other side. 1. 2. 3. And 4. And then straight down the middle, 4. Here we go. I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Right in the middle of the other ones, right here. That ain't going nowhere. That's going all the way through the trailer. to the stud. To the stud right there, guys. We'll put it closer to the base then. Right here. Perfect. One more and we're done. Bam. Now we'll put this. Freaking perfect right there, guys. And remember, the soft washing hose reel is going to go on top of here on its own base, you know. That's right. Remember, I said 8 of these bases, right? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I got one more out there. Because that's going to be the base for these reels, and that's going to be the base for that one. There you go. Here we'll just put 3. 2 and 3. There you go. Bam. There you have it. Put that up here. Let's step out so you guys can see it. Wow, I'm liking it so far, guys. I'm liking it. That's a solid foundation. Very solid. Can't wait to see this thing at the very end, what it's going to look like. Super excited to build this out for you guys. But anyway, man, guys, this build is something that, you know, you guys, let me get a water real quick, guys. Let me get a water. Ice cold water, baby. Man, if it wasn't for these waters, I probably would have fainted in here. It's super hot in here. But I was saying how, man, guys, if you follow my blueprint and you build yourselves something like this, man, wow, you guys are going to have one hell of a rig. Now, I'm putting an AR-45, but, you know, if you were to have a 12-volt system or a different soft washing system, that's fine. But, you know, your foundation for your hose reel, this is going to have my pressure line and also my water line up here. So it's going to be good. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys on this one. Make sure you tune into the next episode, because in the next episode, I'm going to show you guys how to put together a stack kit. You know how you stack hose reels on top of each other. And then we're actually going to install soft wash reel, pressure reel, water reel. So all the 3 reels will be installed in the next episode. So make sure you tune in to that. And then I think I've said this in the beginning, but I'll say it again. Guys, all of these things that I am using, okay, is going to be on your Amazon list. Make sure you pick that stuff up, because 1, you're helping the channel because we make a commission on that stuff. And then 2, you're able to follow along and do it precisely what I'm doing, because you're essentially using the same stuff. But anyway, I really, really appreciate you guys coming to the channel and watching this pressure washing advice series. This build series. And also, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Also, I have great resources to share with you guys, like the pricing guideline, the blueprints, and all that. Make sure, guys, you email me. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bubbles out.